Shalom. First and foremost, give all praises, honor, and glory, respects, the diligence, peace, blessings, and power to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Just wanted to do a video on how China is doing in its regards to prophecy, and it's looking like they're losing their Chinese dream. And I'm going to play this video. It is pretty much entitled From the Chinese Dream to Chinese Poverty. This was last week, or this week. The economy's kind of collapsing in China for the worse. Foreign investments, they're moving out, they're pulling out. The yuan, the Chinese dollar, is only worth 1/8.
Xi Jinping proposed the Chinese dream in 2012 and defined it as the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, specifically manifested in the prosperity of the country, the rejuvenation of the nation, and the happiness of the people. However, under his governance, China today is plagued by issues. The economy is rapidly declining, and people are living in hardship. The former Chinese dream has now turned into China is poor. Recently, the New York Times reported that a 2014 survey on the wealth perception of the Chinese people showed that 77% of Chinese at that time believed they were richer than 5 years ago. Today, 10 years later, this proportion has dropped to only 39%. This indicates a rapid shrinking of Chinese people's wealth, with 61% of the population heading towards poverty.
Okay, so we've seen a boost over the last decade, and now we're seeing a decline. That means that, it's just not working. And ultimately, they're going to send these people to war because they don't have any other option. Taiwan is backed by the U.S., the West, and, it's just getting more intensified with the drills that they're running, and how Jinping has, basically declared that he's not going to renounce force, and that China is going to take back what was once theirs before, basically the U.S. and its allies interfered. And this country, this nation is also facing all types of natural disasters. There's like a 1,000-year flood every month in a different province. And it's just getting worse and worse. They just had that one major typhoon. I don't know the name of it, but yeah, the place is literally sinking because in these high populated condensed areas, and this is all going to lead to basically war, the East versus the West, and they're aligning themselves with Russia, of course. Just want to play a little more.
Songguo Cheng, a senior researcher at the Center for International Relations Research at National Chengchi University in Taiwan and an expert on Chinese issues and international strategy, pointed out that the Chinese people now face 10 difficulties. Difficulty eating, difficulty dressing, difficulty attending school, difficulty finding jobs, difficulty getting married, difficulty having children, difficulty with housing, difficulty getting medical care, difficulty with elderly care, and difficulty with funeral arrangements. These 10 difficulties encompass almost every stage of life, cradle to grave, where everything is difficult.
And, these Chinese people, that are here in America, they're very proud, they want to act like their stuff doesn't stink, but why should they be proud? Why should they be puffing themselves up? Why should they allow for themselves to think that they're better, than the rest of the world? And that's their pride. They got just as much pride as the Americans, the Babylonians. This is Jeremiah 48:28. O ye that dwell in Moab, leave the cities and dwell in the rock. and be like the dove that maketh her nest in the sides of the hole's mouth. So basically, um, these major cities are going to become wasted after this third world war and these nukes get shot off. These people are going to have to head to the clefts of the rocks, basically. And this is a warning that the Lord is giving them. It says, "We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceedingly proud, his loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride and his haughtiness of the heart." Yeah, and that those words, haughtiness, loftiness, pride and arrogancy, they all go together. And these people are definitely against the Lord for the most part, and that's why he's going to allow for this nation to be a spoil, basically a booty, and they have a lot of Israelites, people that are of the Lord, that have been scattered throughout that nation since ancient times. And they have been suffering just like the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans have been suffering here in the West. And this is Jeremiah 48:1. "Against Moab, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, woe unto Nebo, for it is spoiled. Kiriathaim, it is confounded and taken. Misgab is confounded and dismayed. There shall be no more praise of Moab in Heshbon." And Heshbon is basically Japan. It says, "They have devised evil against it. Come and let us cut off from thee the nation. Also thou shalt cut down, O madman, the sword shall pursue thee." So yeah, the Spirit of the Lord dwelleth in the kings of these nations, like the Prime Minister of Russia, Vladimir Putin, Jinping, China, Erdogan, Turkey, Kim Jong-un, North Korea, and so on. That Netanyahu of Israel, the Spirit of the Lord, even though it's on the left hand, is dwelling within him to cause him to do what he's doing right now, that massive genocide. So all spirits are of the Lord. And you can read the rest of this Jeremiah chapter 48. It has a lot of codes in it that you can crack by listening and learning to the true prophets of Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai. So, that's just a little bit on what's going down and how it's basically going to affect us here, because they're collapsing their economy over there. The CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, they're collapsing their economy on purpose because they need desperate individuals to fight in this third world war. And this is coming to America too. The economy is going to collapse, and there's going to be massive poverty here in the States. And people will be desperate, and they're going to try and get them to go off to go fight in the Middle East, this third world war, out there in that region by China. So, with that, just wanted to do a quick brief lesson on what's going on this certain area around the world. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakam Dash.